Chase back?
Who?
Chase Martinson?
Thursday.
You guys, Mike had a stat like a third of the group possessions have been touchdowns under 2 minutes or less. Going back to last year, I'm curious. The offense always has had that capability. Do you feel like it's any more so now than with Justin and with guys?
We might be a little more efficient. I bet if you went back and you looked, it's probably not a whole lot different. I mean, maybe some of them, but it's not a lot.
It's more about who you're playing.
What did you say the last how many games?
Well, this is going back 8 or to last season.
Played some pretty good people in that span.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just like a third or under 2 minutes or less.
Last year, third of the possessions were 2 minutes or less.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the time thing, but yeah, it's not a grind, and there's a lot of big plays. If you look, I think that I'm pretty sure I don't know exactly what it. I know we're in the top 5. May have been the best in 20-yard plays or more in the country.
Right.
So it just goes to show you not to throw it to get big plays.
Has your defense been able to see some tape of Deshaun Kaiser and see what he's going to play?
You saw the third and fourth quarter of Virginia. That's all the tape there is. Yeah. They're not going to change. I wouldn't expect them. They'll probably, maybe cut back a little. And he's got a lot of weapons. He's got a great wide receiver, a really good offensive line. Running back had a great game at Virginia. So I don't foresee them changing a whole lot. And they've got good players. They're not going to totally wholesale change everything they do because they lost a quarterback.
When you went back and looked at what Matthew did, he didn't play a ton. What did you see?
He played okay. He did good. About like we thought.
I heard on the radio show you were saying that you were sending a couple penalties to have looked at. Or the two that you
We
had.
send a few clips every week. Clips that we felt like were missed calls or whatever. We do that every week. It's not a big deal.
Was the one like the...
Nothing happens when you do it. They either say yeah or no. It doesn't do you any good. Yeah, we missed it. Okay.
But I guess did you feel like there was a 10 and 2 call on Ike? That,
there were several of them in there that were questioned on both sides. Trying to get me fined, right?
They didn't send you a cake after the Georgia game when you sent them calls and said they were wrong?
No. I didn't send any in. That was our supervising official.
Coach, do you see anything that Coach Van Gorder did, that when you were with him, do you see a lot of the similarities that he still does on defense?
I was never with him.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
I don't know Coach Van Gorder.
You don't? Okay. All right.
That's a media myth, I think.
Okay. Let's talk about then the opener. Obviously, your conference opener. This is, you've had 2 games that you've put up a lot of points.
Yeah, well, we got Notre Dame this week, and then we open the league with Duke. So this game's a non-counter in the league because they play the 4 games.
That's true.
But got a top 10 team on the road. It's a great opportunity to go in and play and kind of see what happens. Have a better idea where we're at.
Looking for some leadership this week from the...
Oh, I think we got some leaders. We got some guys on our team that have played and older guys. And I'm sure I'm not too worried about that. I think we'll be okay that way.
what can you tell about the focus of the team, just the way they practice last couple of
Practice was typical Tuesday practice. It was okay. I mean, it was okay. It was.
You were saying yesterday that the teams maybe not as good as everyone thinks, and it's never as bad as good as things. What kind of things do you tell the team or show the team these kind of
Kinds of things. We look at the game tape and we look at missed assignments and misalignments and missed blocks, misreads and all that stuff. Until we play the perfect game, there's all kinds of stuff we were working on. We haven't come close to that. Sometimes if you're just way better than the opponent, you can get away with things that you won't get away with when you play better people. So steps, fundamentals, all that stuff.
Is that the one where you're concerned a little bit about Justin? He's kind of made 2 sort of fairly boneheaded plays.
Not really, though. Well, he made one in the first game. The last game, they turned the guy loose off the edge.
Pick him up, yeah.
It's a bad call. It was on me.
Aaron Joe had mentioned that he'd like to come back. I imagine you'd be happy
To come back for what?
For like you'd want to apply for a hardship.
Oh, yeah, if he does that, if he gets through, it'd be great. We'd love to have him.
Anything else?